looks like we're up and running. Let me know how the audio sounds and make sure it's looking good in here. Hey Sinister, how's it going? Doing well, just kind of testing this thing out and seeing how it plays. I've been able to put a few hours into it now, so been enjoying it pretty much. Situated because it says it's too high. Fix that. Let it ride for a minute. See how the game looks as I'm doing it. Okay. Yeah, I haven't played it on the S right now. I'm just playing it on the PC, so it makes it easier to do this. So I'm doing both the game and the stream from the PC. Played it a little bit on Series X so far. It looks pretty good. PC optimization, not as good as I would like. But there was a day one patch that seems to have helped a little bit. So, kind of see what happens there. Right now I have the settings on high, which would be pretty close to kind of like a mix between the X and the S right now. If I were to go to medium settings, then that's what you'd be looking at for the S. Now I'm about
I should ask
7-ish hours in.
About a pressing and highly confidential matter at your earliest convenience.
So right now
I believe that we may be able to help each other.
Spoilers in the stream, so I'll go through and kind of go out of the town, world map, and then kind of go from this perspective. The map overall is pretty big, but I haven't had a chance to really play around with it too much yet. Right now you can just fast travel to most of these locations, which makes it super helpful. I did unlock the broom, but I'm still kind of figuring out how to pull it up sometimes.
How nice to see you, my...
Once you have completed the tasks I've set for you, I would like to teach you Descendo, useful for pulling objects to the ground.
Pull up a marker. You can set waypoints just like you can in other ones. They typically tend to run hits, to start, and then kind of start unlocking some of these areas. Because if you're flying over them, you don't unlock some of the fast travel locations if you're doing it. So a lot of times I'll just go through this. So unlocked a lot of the fast travel stuff, unlocked some spells. That way it kind of gives you a general sense of
You can
some
feed
of
a
the stuff that you
beast
can
or it
do.
can feed. I didn't always like a polite battle.
If you have any questions, feel free.
Confringo! Accio!
Come out. How unfortunate for you.
You don't have, there's not like a ton of Harry Potter references per se from like the original movies. Then again, I'm also not the biggest Harry Potter fan, so if there were, they would have kind of fallen on deaf ears anyway for me. The thing with that is I'm not a huge fan of the game, or not the game, but the movies, but I'm also enjoying the game itself. So,
Accio!
Slippery little.
I'll watch the light go out of your eyes.
Confringo!
Productor, how did that feel? Productor,
Accio! Confringo!
makes it a bit easier if you get some of these powers, and you can unlock it during the. Probably my biggest pet peeve of this game so far is the gear. I'm constantly having to go into the gear slots and make room. To start, as you can see, you only have 20 slots, and then there's other ways to unlock more slots from what I understand. But I haven't gone that far yet. So and there's like different areas of the upgrades that you can do. So for example, hands, face, headwear, your outfit, cloak, your robes, and the neckwear, and all those end up contributing to your defense and offense. You have a wand handle over here, but you can't really, I haven't seen anything done with it yet, so I'm sure there's more to it than that, but as it stands, that's what we're going to look at there. Let's see, and then you have your inventory. I might as well just go through the settings here quick. So that's where you have all your stuff, notes, herbs, and resources, which are handy for doing potions and things of that nature. And then talents, which is like your skill tree. These are the 5 main areas. So, or you have all these different ones in here. Cooldowns. These are all level 5. And then you get another level or another tier unlocked at 16, and then again at 22. That's pretty much straight across the board for most of these. So it depends on where you want to do it. I haven't done anything in the dark arts, and that's like so far the fire spells and things like that. So still going through some of those areas. And back out. You also have collections, all the different things that you've gone in. That if you played Destiny at all, it's kind of similar to that, where it has a bunch of different collections that you can go through and start unlocking, and gives you a bunch of the backstory around it. So if you really enjoy the lore in the Potter universe, then this can be super useful. So it'll show you all the different ones that you had unlocked, and then pretty useful if you like the lore in that aspect, and then challenges. Has all the different challenges that you can go through and do, and then as you do them, you can see here you can claim these rewards. Cool, just did those. Spiders. Has a bunch of different things there. quest, exploration, field guides, remove requirements is a different thing. Once you get to it, it's pretty cool. So it kind of gives you a general sense of the gear, the inventory, the talents, selections, and challenges. Already saw the map a little bit, the quests. I'll stay off of that just in case you don't want spoilers from the story, because actually the story's pretty good in this game. I've actually been pretty surprised by it. So, like I mentioned, I'll stay in just like the open world aspect, just so I can kind of show what the gameplay itself is like and stay away from the story beats and all that.
Revelio.
That's revelation spell that you can use to find various things. And then you'll see there you can do flight and then pressing LB and then tapping B. You'll see it on that. That's what that looks like. Now you get off of it, just hitting B again. So there's plenty of stuff to hide in here. Hopefully, from a leveling up perspective, useful. Sometimes fast forward, like I said, you'll end up missing some of the waypoint stuff that allows for fast travel. This is just what it looks like to fly there.
Accio.
During this gameplay. And then there's different puzzles and challenges like this.
Let's see what's up your sleeve this time, Merlin.
Quick panoramic view, and again, this is just on high settings. And with everything being on just the one PC for both streaming and the game, I wanted to make sure that the game actually worked. So kind of useful. So coming along here.
Accio.
Sometimes you can throw boulders and things like that, depending on what the environment is. So it's kind of cool that you have some of that environmental aspects of the game. Like I mentioned, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. Not really knowledgeable on a lot of this stuff, so just like the gameplay and the story itself on its own merits, I've actually enjoyed quite a bit. There's a lot of intrigue and
Hogsmeade, here I come.
this is just a city.
Behave, damn you!
I simply profounded.
City you can go through and sell stuff, buy different things that you may need. It's like where I am buying through. It'll give you a bunch of different areas. Yes, slow walk. I'd rather walk fast, but not a huge deal. So this is one of the cities that I've been to so far. Usually I think you end up going to Hogwarts, which is like one of the main cities near Hogwarts, relatively early on, if I remember.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented blue powder.
But you go to the city relatively early on, and then it's pretty cool how they integrate the Hogwarts stuff with the application of different areas. So, like for example, you go to your class for the dark art or defense of the dark arts, and then you end up going to another area that helps kind of solidify the spells that you're learning.
Accio. Incendio.
I will make you pay.
You've one less follower, Ranrock.
You'll find out who Ranrock is as you play the game. Like I said, I'm only like
This place has seen better days.
so not like a huge
Hello. Do you have anything for sale?
That I do, but
Just exploring.
Just
aye.
give you plenty of options as you're
Nice
going
to break the
through
routine
different,
now and then.
conversations
Bit of a
as well, which is
wanderer
pretty cool.
myself, in
I
fact.
don't know if they have any.
My name's
real effect on the
Leopold
game.
Babcock,
Yes, that
and
kind
I
of
am
scene,
indeed
but
here to sell.
It is kind of nice that you have
Now,
different aspects of
for
that.
someone like yourself who is also prone to wander, I cannot understate the importance of keeping some Wiggenweld potion on hand. I wouldn't dare set foot in a place like... What do you say, my young friend? A measure of safety for the path ahead?
Something to consider.
Aye, let me know if you see something you like.
So
What do you have for sale?
it's nice seeing a game that's like fully voiced and.
See if there's something you need. I shall hope to do business with you again.
Yeah.
That's been a pleasure.
Okay. Now back on to. I wish there was a faster way to get onto the bridge. Right now you have to hit on controller LB and then.
Rockborough's famous for someone having a
I
pet
wish
troll.
that was a little bit faster. Yeah, we'll go like this. Red arrow over here. I have no idea what it is.
Accio. Incendio.
So right now I'm just kind of going through a lot of the open world and seeing how it actually kind of plays out, especially with so much stuff being
I've always said
kind of
that travel
mentioned in a lot of
broadens the
teasers and
mind.
trailers and stuff like that. Hogwarts itself seems like Hogwarts itself is pretty confusing from like a map perspective. Diving into that, I typically end up having to have the magic trail, so to speak, to tell me where to go, so I could actually navigate Hogwarts because it's just super confusing.
These rocks have seen better days.
And it's like multiple levels, and then as you start to get into some of the magical stuff, then it's even more confusing. So definitely use a lot of fast travel as I've been going through Hogwarts. Let's see, so as far as I can go over here. Let's go way over here. Zoom in and quick travel. So it makes it easy to go through the different areas as you're kind of passing through a lot of it.
Not sure how I'd fare in a little place like this.
Frame rate's still freaking out, so let me see if I can fix that. No. some of
It's
this
a
stuff
good thing
you'll
we
see
have
still
aura,
on,
is all I'm saying. What's
see that quite
more
often.
powerful than the dark
You
arts?
have to. I'm not sure how you get those keys yet because again, I haven't gone far enough in. Riding a broom, right trigger does faster, and then you can hit left trigger to do reverse, which is pretty handy. Haven't had a chance to go through too much. Yeah. Reference.
Incendio.
So you'll find some of those world bosses as you're going through. And there's, so far I've ran into 2, and they were closer to the Hogwarts, so there was like different trolls that I fought. And first time I ran into that one, so there's a big one. And you have special magic that you'll learn about during the story. So, like, again, I'm not gonna spoil it here. But even with the special magic,
Confringo. Confringo.
so yeah, as you get further out here, you can kind of take a guess of how difficult it's going to be, especially based upon your level. There's I'll show you in the map here once it reloads that you go into the map and then you zoom out. You can see on the right hand side what level that is. So right now this entire area is 10 to 30. Over here is 15 to 40, 20 to 40. And so it kind of gives you a general sense of how difficult things are going to be depending on where you want to go. So right now I'm trying to go into areas that are like way ahead of me, which is fine. I won't end up from like a story perspective getting there anytime soon. And so not a huge deal, but from like an exploration perspective, sometimes it's fun just to kind of see what's out there and taking the Elden Ring approach. And that's one thing I did really enjoy about Elden Ring is kind of just being able to go to the different areas of the map, explore, and yeah, chances are you're going to get mowed down. You know, that was part of the fun. So, level-wise, not a huge deal. So, right now, in some of the areas, like level 20s, I can pretty much, I have the ability to tackle level 20 right now. Sometimes it can take a little bit of effort. And then anyway, some of these areas are, you have a good chance, even if you're like 5 to 10 levels lower, depending on what level you are in the area that you're in. Like you saw, Elden Ring approach, maybe you'll be able to tackle it really well, but it just kind of depends. The gameplay itself, like I said, this is only on high, and it still looks really, really good. I don't remember if I had versions on this. I think I may have done. That's fine. Let's actually go to 7. Let's see. and then ray tracing quality set to ultra. So yeah, this is just on high settings with all ray tracing on. And then it looks like I leveled up one of the talents. I'm actually gonna go and level up my ability to stealth, which has actually been a pretty cool little mechanic. So you'll notice that there's a lot of different areas too. So right now I've gone past some like forested areas. Right now we're diving into heading towards the ocean area. It's a lot of green, which is really nice. So I've been playing a lot of Horizon West here recently, so I'm kind of tired of looking at desert landscapes where everything goes red, orange, and brown. So definitely like that. The game itself looks really good. Kind of cool the flopping floating right here. It's cool, the flop. How far we actually go. Too bad. Come over here so I can show a little bit more of some of the fighting and gameplay aspects of it. These little green things are the fast travel waypoints. And then there's a little trail that you can use. It'll show you where to go. I use this a lot in Hogwarts because I pretty much should get confused whether how I'm supposed to go there. So this is the Forbidden Forest area. You'll visit this a few hours into the game. Before you get your broom, you will be doing a lot of running. So, just be prepared for that. And then eventually you'll be able, if you want to get your which makes things a little faster, but not a ton.
Accio. Incendio.
You're sitting off my eyebrows!
Accio. Incendio. Confringo. Levioso.
Once you get a different amount of spells, you can also come like this and you can set them to different things. So right now I typically stay on this one, but you can go to different areas. And then this has like the repair. This also has the thing. Sometimes makes these little areas.
They know the
I've
life and
unlocked where I can
falsehoods. No one's mightier in Rockwoods.
So it gives you kind of an idea of whether or not you want to go in guns blazing or.
Do you think the ash will? I've heard centaurs.
Relatively overpowered there.
Nobody will believe I defeated an Ashwinder by myself.
How's it going?
Revelio.
Revelio, which then you can start to see where all the different chests are all over the place. very convenient. Anything else? So we can move on.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
And let's go ahead and look at the map and see what else is out. Like I mentioned, I'm staying away from the quests and the story just so it doesn't spoil anything. So just showing a lot of the different gameplay and showing what you expect with the game itself. So far, overall, I've really been enjoying this game. And like I've mentioned before, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, so a lot of the lore and different elements are completely lost on me, so I don't have a lot of context. I've seen the movies, but I haven't read any of the books. It's not so.
Reduction!
Even so, without any of
Reduction!
No!
Expulsion! Reduction! Expulsion!
Shame nobody saw that.
Accio.
Why walk over there when I can just bring something?
Confringo.
That's how you'll end up getting spider webs out of the way. Easy fire spells, which you unlock relatively early on. Which is nice. This is the Forgotten Forest. It is pretty cool too. As you're walking through, you'll hear, if you played the Dead Space remake, they have a lot of noises coming from different areas. So especially if you're wearing headphones, it's pretty cool that you'll hear different sounds in different areas and different locations, even if nothing comes out. So it's pretty cool how they've done a lot of the soundscape. Just to double check, how does the gameplay look? Is it looking okay, or is it stuttery, or just wanted to double check to make sure? It's telling me that the frame rate is too high. It's only doing 30 frames. I think right now I am 114 the monitor, so.
Confringo. Incendio.
Fire. So there's different enemies that you end up fighting over the course of the game so far, at least. And so you'll end up seeing, like, one is you see like the red bubble shield around folks. That typically means that it's fire. You'll see purple, blue, yellow, different colors like that. So it kind of gives you a idea of what spells to use to break that particular shield. And that you have a lot of people walking around here. You have a giant troll over here taking a camp.
Confringo. Potato. Confringo. Confringo. Potato. Confringo.
Using your special. Hey, look at that, another tool.
Accio. Confringo. Potato. Confringo. Leviosa. Potato. Confringo.
You'd think they felt that in London.
So there's a lot of different things. Not even sure what those are. A giant purple code. There's a lot of different areas that you can go through. Like I mentioned, this is just the Forgotten Forest area. So this is kind of like within my level. And let me go through since I've gotten some lately. Sometimes some of the headgear looks completely ridiculous. I had one that was top hat, and then I've had some that were not necessarily top. It was like a wizard hat, but it was missing the top, and then it had like swirls at the top. And then this face mask here kind of looked like a ninja. It kind of looks cool, but yeah. Gives you a general sense of what to expect. There's a ton of gear in this game, which I really have liked. It's nice being able to...
Confringo. Leviosa. Accio. Confringo. Incendio.
So like the gear itself is pretty cool. There's tons. I've had a ton of drops when it came to this game, and so that's been super useful. Like I mentioned,
Accio.
you know, go back through and do your gear, and sometimes I have to bring fast travel to certain quests or whatever.
See if there's something you need.
Different things like that that you have to take into account. But yeah, I'm constantly having to sell gear, which is not bad because you get a lot of money for it. And one of the things I'm currently trying to kind of save up for is the large apothecary and then the large potting things, because then it'll just make it easier for later in the game. So I have to get
That's
3,000
been a
each for
pleasure.
those. And you'll find out, you know, once you start getting to the room requirement stuff of what's going to be in there, what you can do.
Could it be a Merlin trial?
Stuff. And that all comes just by doing the story. So a lot of that's pretty cool as you're going through a lot of the game. The story unlocks a lot of that stuff, and then I'm still doing some of the side quests for some of the characters, and I've only just started doing some of that work. And so, from what I understand, there's some pretty cool rewards if you end up doing them, a lot of the character side quests, so we'll see what happens there.
Accio.
stuff. You'll need that.
Accio. Accio.
Can't have too much moon stuff. So going through here. And you also get to pick out, as you're going through a level.
Accio.
So, right now, I think most people end up getting the same kind of wand. I don't know if it depends on which house you end up going with, which is very possible. But you also get the ability if you want to put a handle on it. So when we come up to gear, you'll see hand wands over there. One handles, and then I have 2 so far. I have no idea what these actually mean, or if they do anything. At least I haven't seen. But I'm sure there's some videos out there giving it a better sense of what to expect with the different wands and the different houses, which I'm pretty sure they may end up changing. So I went with Ravenclaw, which was dealing with like intellect and things like that. I don't know if that makes any difference. I haven't done enough digging on that, but
Wonder who lives here.
that's another little town that I've kind of ran into. I'm just getting the fast travel points.
Off on another adventure, are we?
To get down this way, further down the road. And the game overall, from what I've seen, is relatively big. So you have the open world itself, which you can go through and play, but as I've started to expand, there's like a whole bunch of different dungeons and areas that you can get into to kind of expand a lot of this stuff. So
Accio.
and I liken it to Elden Ring a couple times because I'm actually enjoying this game as much as Elden Ring. So the only big difference for me from those two different perspectives is that Elden Ring's story, you really had to dig and you had to watch, hours of lore videos to figure out what the hell was going on.
Confringo.
So, story-wise, like I mentioned, really enjoying the story. It's been a lot of fun to unearth a lot of this. And like I mentioned, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, so I don't have a lot of context when it comes to this universe, and I'm still finding it enjoyable. Now, regardless of your views on the source material and the folks that wrote all of this, I'm basing a lot of my perception and perspective just on
You
game
can't
itself and
imagine
the
how
story
inconvenient travel was before I
So,
invented flu
I
powder.
don't really, have a dog in that other race, but in this particular one, really enjoying it.
Incendio.
That woman, isn't it? One fixated on murder. She's other people's affair.
Confringo.
Confringo!
Levioso. Accio.
You can, scream a
The
bunch
beast
of
is safe now.
spells together. It's pretty useful, especially if you're trying to kind of juggle someone. So you can, hold them up in the air, and then you can knock them back down, and then you can hit them with some fire. And there's a lot of different things that you can do to
Accio.
keep somebody from getting back down on the ground. But that does leave you open to other people hitting you in the back. Let's here, and let's do it all stealth.
anything interesting around here?
Such arrogance. I was right not to be worried.
Is he? Not quite.
Ridiculous. You arrogant child. Lucky
You can't stop us. Are you sure? Let's do I've been fighting since before you were born. Your spells glance off at me.
You only have Ranrock to blame.
You'll find out who that is as you're going through the story. But wrapping things up a bit here, hopefully this gives you a good sense of what to expect with
Accio.
So I've personally been really enjoying the story, so something to take a look at. But gameplay wise, if this is something that you're enjoying and definitely something that you want to check out, definitely by all means. Me personally, I've been really enjoying the game, and it's been a lot of fun. I liken it to, like I mentioned a couple times at this point, Elden Ring, and how much fun I had with that game. So definitely check it out. Feel free to comment in the comment section if you have additional questions or things that you want to chat about or get input on. But at this point, I definitely would recommend the game. The Day 1 patch did fix a lot of performance issues, especially on PC. Series X, I saw some performance issues there, but those seem to be fixed, and I don't know on PS5, I hadn't had a chance to play it on there yet. So definitely give it a chance, and if it's something that you'll find, I definitely am enjoying it. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.